Hello, good evening. Can you guys hear me? Can you reply a message with a message if you can hear me? Hello? Hello, everyone. Can you hear me? Hello, everyone. Hi, Papi, Team Boy, Oye, Uguike. I believe you guys can hear me.
Yes,
Sure.
I
Sure.
fair. Hold on.
Yes, we
Okay.
can. Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know how long do we want to wait for the late comers, those joining late. Should
Maybe
we
1
give
or
them?
2 more minutes.
Okay. Let me share my screen. I guess when it's 7:05, we should start. Okay, it's 7:05. I think it's advisable for us to start now. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
And can you hear me well? Am I?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you guys for joining this session on business regulatory returns. So, can you see the PowerPoint? Hello? Hello?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Okay. So
Maybe you can make it full screen.
okay. Um, Okay. Shelo Kiri. I'm the founder of Accurate Consults. This is what we do. We're going to talk about this later in the course of maybe at the end of the presentation or the session. Now, this session will be very practical. So what I have in the presentation, I have a couple of links in the presentation that we need to open and maybe go through some activities on some of those links. And also the plan is to share a copy of this presentation with everyone that filled the Google Sheet so that I can share with them. And having these resources, you can use this to manage your business. So this slide is on management of company records. So in Canada, Corporations Canada is a federal agency that manage registration and business records. So every company that is incorporated federally is registered with Corporations Canada. Now, there's some, if I have a company, I can decide that I don't want to incorporate the company or register the company federally. I want to only, for example, I live in Ontario, so I want to only incorporate the business with Ontario government. Yes. So with such, I can maybe register with Ontario government, then I will still need to get a business number, get a CRA number, but my records will not be with Corporations Canada. So, but Corporations Canada coordinates activities with other provinces. So it's always advisable that if you need to incorporate a business, incorporate your business federally so that you can operate from any part of Canada. Then also you can also decide that, okay, I've incorporated my business federally. I can also reach out to Ontario government or the provincial government to register my business. So now I know a couple of us have registered businesses, either corporation. Now, when I'm talking about corporation, I'm talking about company, incorporated company now, not, we have different type of businesses. We have sole proprietorship, we have partnership, we have corporation. So when I'm referring to incorporation, I'm referring to a corporate company, a corporation in this case. Now, so if you need to search the status of your company, some of us have created some companies in the past and those companies are inactive. It's always advisable for us to regularize it, ensure that the company is active or we close it because we have fraudsters that can do illegal activities with inactive businesses. So it's advisable if you have any inactive business, it's advisable you activate them. So with that link, this is where it takes me to search for a federal corporation. So if I need to search a company, I can just put maybe Lemon, or we can use a common name that we're familiar with. Maybe I know most of us do transfers with Lemonade. So if we search, so we can see Lemonade Collection Incorporation, Lemonade Communications Incorporation. Now you can see the status of the company. Here it's saying status is active, it is not yet dissolution pending. Now, most likely, maybe this company has initiated a dissolution request to dissolve the company, but it has not been completed. This one is dissolved. This is active. So you can see different status of company. This is active. This is dissolved. this is going through dissolution process. And this is the corporation number with Corporations Canada. And this is the business number. This is the business number with CRA, RC00. So now, of recent, within the last 3 years, there has been a good integration between CRA and Corporations Canada, such that when you update the records of your business on Corporations Canada, such change will also reflect on CRA. So this is CRA business number. So going back to the presentation slide, so you can search for your companies. So if you have any company registered, you want to confirm the status of your company on Corporation Canada. Now the next slide, user profile on Corporations Canada. Now, if you have a registered corporate company in Canada, as an individual, you are required to have a profile with Corporations Canada. In the past, you can use agents to help you register your company, but when that has been done, even currently, you can still use agents. But when such company has been registered, it's advisable for you to link your company to your profile on Corporations Canada. So if you need to create a profile on Corporation Canada, this is the link that will help you with that. So for example, this is my own profile, just like with CRA, but it's a different username and password. I have a username and password using a GC key. Then I need to put my username. I need to put my password. I'm trying to locate where my password is. So many passwords to deal with. Okay. This full screen. Okay, so this is my username. Put in my username. My username, my password. Okay, what's saying? My password. Okay. Password. Put in my password. Okay. So continue. Oh, Internet Explorer. Okay, let me try Google Chrome. I need to copy that link. Yeah. Okay. I want to sign in. My GC key. My username is Lemon Logistics. Not sure. And password. Yeah, I'm trying to log into my Corporations Canada profile. Yeah, it should be a straight put. I don't know why internet edges. So this is my profile. you can see this is my name. And so for users that are not, for new users, you need to create a profile on this. And while creating a profile, it will ask you, apart from your personal details, you need to take a passport or a photo of yourself. You need to upload or scan a copy of your ID card for authentication. So for myself, I've done all that. I've updated all my required information. So with this, if I go back to my previous, so that's my profile. So I would advise you, if you have a corporate business in Canada, I would advise you to create a profile on Corporation Canada. So that's how to create a user profile. And if you need to create a user profile, create user sign in, it will authenticate you, upload your personal details, and you'll be fine. Now, how do you maintain your company profile on Corporations Canada? So if I go back to this page, you can see if I need to file annual return or if I need to incorporate a business. Or if you scroll down, you will see view and change director information, change registration, registered office information. So if I want to change the office address of any of the businesses I have mapped to me. So on Corporations Canada, just like on CRA, when you have a profile, then you can map or add a company to your profile. Like I'm directors of these maybe 4 companies, you understand? So I can, as a director, because I've mapped this company to myself on Corporations Canada, I can edit any of this company. I can select, then click next. If I need to maybe change information, change address, change any information, personal information, director's information that relates to this particular company. So I can change office address, I can change director's details. If we have new directors, I can add all those myself without contacting Corporations Canada. So that's how to view your company profile on Corporation Canada. So as advisable, set it up, confirm if the company details is right, and if it's wrong, you can update it and submit your request online. Now, also on your Corporations Canada profile, you can file your annual return. I get this inquiry from a lot of my clients. Maybe after filing corporate income tax for them, they send me an email that, have I not filed their tax return? And I have to explain that the annual return, whenever you see annual return, is referring to Corporations Canada annual filing, which is different from tax filing. No, returns could be just submitting information on the company or updating information on the company. So we need to know that annual return is from Corporation Canada and it's different from your normal tax filing. Typically, when you get this type of email from Corporation Canada, from this email address, so you can search your email with this email address, you get this type of email that you need to file your annual returns, and the cost is $12. You can do that yourself. So what you need to do is, if I go back to my Corporations Canada profile, if I maybe go back to my name, online filing center, so I can just, if I click on it, this is what it takes me to. If I don't have any corporation mapped to me, I can search, then I can search, put the name of the company and search. For me to, you search, from the search, you see the name of your company, then you add it to yourself. But if I need to file annual return, Corporations Canada annual filing, I just need to select the company and next. Then you just want to confirm you just want to confirm some personal information about the company, then basically for the annual filing, what you just need to confirm is the address of the company. Has it changed? Directors, has it changed? Has anything changed concerning the company? It's like an annual return that does not involve any figures or numbers to be used, just for you to click through and you cannot submit such return. So I get this inquiry from a lot of my clients. So I need to explain to them that annual filing is from Corporations Canada and it's different from your annual tax return. It's different from your annual tax return. So moving on to the next slide. Now, managing transaction record. Now, I usually have this issue with a lot of my business clients when it's time for them to file their corporate income tax. It takes forever for them to come back with the data, the correct data that shows what has happened in the course of the 12 months in terms of their revenue or their expenses. And in the finance world, is a rule of thumb. Like if I'm not doing up to looking at cost versus benefit, if I'm not doing up to 10 transactions in a month, revenue and expenses, is it advisable to use an accounting software? Does it worth it? Constraining the time you're going to put in managing the records on the accounting software. So for me, and I think best practice, if the transaction record is less than 10, it's something you can manage using an Excel template, as long as it captures this basic information, the date of the month, the revenue or if it's the revenue expense, a vendor, the name of the vendor or the person you're paying, description of the payment or the revenue, the amount, the GST and tax component, amount without GST, that is amount less GST. So these are the basic information that should be captured. As Ella said, I will share a copy of this presentation with people that provide their information in the Google Sheet when we're done with this session. So now, otherwise, if you are doing more than 10 transactions in a month, it's advisable to use an accounting software. And we have some free software like this Wave is free. You don't even need to pay any amount any month. You understand? It's free every month. The only limitation is that you can't use it to manage inventory. Wave is free. Then most of you are familiar with QuickBooks for small businesses. You can have some plans as little as $27 per month, $12 per month. You understand? But basically, what you'll be doing on this accounting software is to categorize your expenses and your revenue. As long that's what you'll be doing on the likes of QuickBooks to categorize your transaction in terms of the type of expenses, the type of revenue, and of course, at the end of the period, you can generate financial statements, a balance sheet, a profit and loss statement. Yeah, there is, I think I have a sheet I want to share. Where is my Excel template that I usually share with my clients? Yeah, so these templates just have revenue and expenses. So the dates, the name of the customer you are receiving the revenue from, that's paying you, you are earning income from, description, the amount, the GST or tax amount, the amount without GST, then the revenue type. This has a drop down, and this is where the main work is. Even on the likes of QuickBooks, the accounting software, after identifying that this is an inflow into your bank account, you need to categorize. Is it a sales revenue? Is it a service revenue? Is it dividend income? Is it other revenue? So all these things, you can do it on this Excel template as long as you are not doing up to 10 transactions in a month. Similarly, you can also use this to manage your expenses, the vendor you are paying, then all the various expense types that CRA use for their tax filing and financial statement reporting. As Ella said, if you complete the Google Sheet, which I'm going to share the link at the end of this presentation, I'll share a copy of this template with you. I'll also share a copy of the presentation. So moving on to the PowerPoint. So the rule of thumb is if your transaction is less than 10, then you can manage that on Excel templates. 26 minutes past 7. Now, moving from Corporations Canada to CRA, CRA, Canada Revenue Agency, handles tax filing in terms of they collect taxes on behalf of the federal and provincial government. Now, on CRA, if you have a business, a sole proprietor, a corporate business, you should have a profile on CRA. You should create one if you don't. Now, for corporates, you are required by law to file tax every 12 months, even if the revenue of that corporate business is zero. You are required to file a zero revenue return. So you are required to file your corporate income tax every 12 months. Now, for sole proprietor or unregistered business, because it's sole proprietor, you can separate the owner from the business. You are required to add the revenue and the expenses of your sole proprietor or unregistered business to your personal income tax. So that goes with your personal income tax that will file every March or April annually. Or corporate income tax, based on the tax year for the company, you are required to file tax every 12 months. Even if it's dormant, you need to activate and file corporate income tax. Because CRA can wake up in the next 5 years and give you a tax liability to pay. So please ensure that your returns are up to date. Now, in terms of using CRA to manage business return, so this is this business link. I'm not sure where it took me to. So the CRA business. So if I go to Google now, just type CRA business login. It's the same username and password that you use to log into your personal income tax. So CRA ensure that just to make it seamless for users. So I'm normally on my personal profile, I use user ID and password. So this is my username, this is my password, I sign in. Of course, because it's CRA, there will always be authentication. Text me, yeah, do not want inbuilt in the next. So I need to put the OTP SMS to log into my business profile. Now, as earlier said, is a different URL from the personal income tax access. So I'm trying to fetch the token 629,681, 629,681, 629,681. So click next. Now this is my profile, CRA business profile. Now, because I have 4 businesses mapped to me, now I will always advise people, if you are a director of a company and you are active in that company, you should map all these businesses to you so that you can monitor what is being done by the accountant, by the principal agent running the company. So for myself, I have about 4 companies mapped to myself on my CRA profile, and I can see all what activity, track and monitor all the required returns on my profile. Going back to PowerPoint, so I can log in on my profile. Now, if I need to add a new business, if a new business is registered and I'm one of the owners, I should be able to add it to myself. And where you can add business on the top of the using CRA 9 digits. So the CRA business, when you incorporate a business with Corporations Canada will send you this email specifying the name of the company and the CRA business number. The first 9 digits is the CRA business number. RC is for corporate income tax. So from your Corporations Canada email, you can pick your business number. But if you have a sole proprietor or a corporate business and you don't have a business number attached to it, you can generate a business number on CRA Business Registration Online, or you can call CRA directly and they will create one for you. So adding business to your CRA business profile, you go to select Manage Business Number in your profile. Click on Profile on the left of the page and select. So on the left of the page, if I click Profile, then I can now go down and select Manage Business Profile. That should be on top. Banking information, business number. So manage, authorize. So these are what you can do. You can change address of your GST returns. You can change your notification preference. You can authorize representative accountant in charge of your tax filing. You can set up a direct deposit account. You can create program accounts on CRA. Then you can manage business number. So if I need to add a new business number to my profile on CRA, I go here, then I click add a business number. Then I put the 9-digit business number and I click add. Now, there's likelihood that when you do that, you might get an error message because, especially if, for example, if it's a corporate business and the data with Corporations Canada is wrong, that is not linked to your social insurance number. So it will give you an error message. So whenever you get such error message, you need to give CRA a call. They will confirm that you are the owner of the business and they will allow you to add the business number to your profile on CRA. Excuse me. Yeah, I'm looking at the time, 7:34. Now, how to obtain CRA business number if you don't have for any of your business? You can either use business registration online. Now, this business registration online can be used to register a business. Can be used to register a business and also obtain a business number at the same time. Or you can call CRA to get a business number for any business you have. So I put a link there. So this is a link from CRO website that I put there. So if you need to do that yourself, what you just need to do is watch the video and it's going to guide you in obtaining a business number using the business registration online. Then add the business to your CRA business profile. I think we have already done that. So how to add business number to your profile on CRA. Managing business on CRA. These are the things you can do on CRA. As earlier mentioned, you can change your address, authorize representative, direct deposit, then manage program account on CRA, manage owner's personal details. All these things, you can change them on CRA itself without calling CRA. Now, we also have what they call CRA program accounts. These are the 5 main CRA program accounts we have. If you need to register for GST, goods and services, or harmonized tax in some provinces, or you want to register for payroll deductions, you want to pay some of your employee or your staff, and you need to register for payroll deductions, or you want to file a corporate income tax. This, you don't need to register, because when you file your first corporate income tax, it will automatically show up in your CRA profile, as long as you add up the business number to your profile, a registered charity, or information, if you want to file information returns. Information returns relates to maybe you want to file returns on some benefits or some RRSP, T4RSP for some of your staff. That is when you need to register for information returns. Now, to create a CRA profile, there's a video on how to create a program account. It's the same business registration online. The process is part of that. If I go back to my CRA profile, if I go back to my business account, then my profile. Okay, these are the programs account in my name. Yeah, so we can use this business registration online also to create any of these business program accounts. Now, checking GST tax return status. Now, for a business that's registered for GST, good service return, I always advise you, even if you're not doing up to the 30K revenue in 12 months, it's always required that if you're doing more than 30K or more revenue, $10,000 or more, you are expected to register for GST. You're expected to collect tax, good service tax for the government. But even if you are not meeting that threshold, you have not yet met that threshold, you can register for this and it's beneficial to you. And I'm going to explain that in the subsequent slide. So if you are registered for GST, you can monitor the GST returns, the status, what is outstanding, what is left to be filed or not. So if I go back to my business account, like this business number is registered for GST. That's why I can see GST under it. If the business is not registered for GST, you can see this business is not registered for GST, but it's a corporate company. So I need to, of course, file corporate income tax. So for the one that is registered for GST, like this is registered for payroll, and also I filed corporate income tax in the past. So I think, is it this one? Yeah, this is registered for GST. So what I just need to click on is under profile, click GST. Now, GST, we use the code, CRA use the code RT. For corporate income tax is RC, R corporate, R tax. For corporate income tax is RC. For payroll, RP, P for payroll. So those are the codes that you can use to differentiate between them. So this is for GST. I click on this RT and I can see the status. I can see I've only filed one corporate GST for this particular business. And it's saying, okay, expected, okay, these are the ones that filed in the past, you can see this. If I need to adjust, I can click and I can edit them and refile them. Now, from here, you can see expected returns. For those of you that you have not filed all the required GST based on the reported timeline, you will see is overdue. You can see is the net return and what is overdue. You can see the reporting date is here. Is from 1st of January 2024 to the end of 2024. And you can see the due date without any penalty. So if I don't file by this due date, CRA might give me an assessment amount to pay or require me to file. Another hint here is, even if you did not file, and maybe I did not file after this date, and maybe in July 2025, CRA gives me an estimate of $4,000 to pay. I tell my client, don't be disturbed. If I'm giving $4,000 to pay, if I file the next day and what is due is maybe $10, $20 or $100, the $100 will replace the estimate. So whenever you file, the right amount will replace the estimate given to you by CRA. So this is a guide on how to track the status of your GST using your CRA business account. So that's for GST tracking. Then also how to file your GST. Now, when you need to file your GST, the basic information needed are these 3 lines. Line 101, line 105, line 108. As also there's a link here on YouTube that will explain to you how to file your GST, the step-by-step. Because of our time, I won't be able to go through that process, but there's a link here that will guide you on how to do that. But if you need to file, these are the basic data you need to get. Line 101 is your sales and other revenue. Your sales or revenue, the total, excluding GST collected. Now, the GST collected on your sales that is added to what you receive from the client will be excluded for line 101. Line 105 is the GST you collected, the total GST you collected from clients. And this amount is for the government. You collected GST on behalf of the government. So you are supposed to remit it. I always advise my clients, at the minimum, save at least 10% of the GST you collected. Because when you need to remit it, you need to remit back to the government. Because you might not be able to deduct everything collected. Now, line 108 is the GST on the expenses. So on the expenses, maybe if I buy supplies, I repair maybe company gadgets, or maybe fix my company car, or anything that relates to the company, and I pay GST when I make such payments. Now that GST will be used to reduce the GST I collected. So the GST tax payable or owing or refund, as the case may be, is this line 105 minus 108. So let's assume in a period, my total revenue was 30K. And on this 30K, 30% of 30K is that 13% times 30K. That is that 3,000. Yeah, 13%. That's 3,900. So is it 3,900? 13%. 10% is 3K. Okay. 13% is 3,900. So let's assume on 30K revenue, I collected GST from clients. Part of the revenue I collected from them, 3,900. Now let's assume on my expenses, my supplies, my website hosting, professional fees, training, and the likes, I paid GST of 3,000. Now, what I will remit back to the government will be 3,900 minus 3,000. That is 900. So effectively, the GST I will pay to the government will be $900. 39 minus 3,900 collected on revenue minus 3,000 GST paid on expenses. So I'm going to remit 3,900 back to the government. Now, let's assume I'm not registered for GST and I'm not collecting GST on behalf of the government. I will have lost the 3,000 because that 3,000, the 3,900 I collected is government money, but I'm able to reduce the 3,900 by 3,000 because I'm helping the government to collect taxes. So GST. So I'm privileged to reduce the amount collected 3,900 by 3K. So in terms of network, you increase your network by 3K. Like you are getting free $3,000 free from the government for collecting GST for them. So I tell my client, even if you're not registered for GST, you're not eligible. Maybe you're not doing up to 30K. Register for it. You make some dollar savings by collecting because you use the GST paid on your expenses to reduce what you collected on behalf of the government. Then there's a link on how to file a GST if you have all this data. As earlier said, if you use a good Excel template like this to track your expenses, because on every amount you are recording, on every transaction you are recording if you collected GST or not. So all this will be useful when you're filing either your GST or your corporate income tax. Hello? Hello? Okay, I just want to be sure that you guys are still with me.
hear you.
Okay, thank you for waiting on. Then I think we are almost at the end. Checking your corporate income tax. As Zara said, I've seen clients coming back to me that they paid money to some accountant to file their corporate income tax. Even when you need to, after ideally, when your tax accountant prepare a document for you, before they submit to CRA, you need to sign. Best practice, I can't submit any tax return if my client did not sign to it. You understand? So some people will come back to me that 2 years after they noticed that their tax accountant, they gave information to the tax accountant and did not file their operating income tax. And with this type of tool, you can monitor if your tax accountant is doing the right thing. Like this company that is registered for is a corporate. As long as it's a corporate, even if the revenue is zero, I need to file a corporate income tax. It's either I close the corporation, or if I need to maintain it, I need to file income tax every 12 months. So this is the profile for this ALPS 001. Then you can see what has been filed for this corporation. 2023, 2022, everything has been assessed. It's fine. So I can track if my accountant has filed my corporate income tax or not. That's tracking corporate income tax using your corporate CRA business. Yeah, and I think that takes us to the end of the presentations. Get your questions ready. As earlier said, I'm the founder of Accurate Consults, help clients to file their corporate income tax. I also file personal income tax, GST filing, or guide them in business registration for complex businesses. Then also I provide payroll service. If you want a payroll service that will debit the business account, pay the employee, generate it for at the end of the year, generate pay stub, I set this up for my client too, and I process for them. Then general business consultant advisory. Then if you need to prepare financial statements, maybe you need to get a loan from the bank or you need a financial statement for any purpose, you can reach out to me. Yeah, so any question? So it's time for question. Hello? Hello?
Hi, we can hear you.
Hi, we can hear you, sir.
Thank you guys for waiting to the end. Do you guys have any question? Any question for me? Okay.
Thank you so much, Sheye. If you have any questions, maybe you cannot ask right now, you can PM Sheye as well. These are, I believe the recording of this presentation will be shared in the main group. And if you have any question, please, you can also type it in the group, then there's a chat box as well.
Yeah,
Or
I
you can
think
get
I can see
personally in the
some.
question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Can I? Yes, someone asked a question. Can I file corporate returns online? I made the corporate income tax. Yeah, so I think there is a menu on the system that says you can do that. Even personally, myself, I can't do it. But I don't know why they provide such, like this my on the corporate income tax, file a tax return. Like myself, I played with it in the past, and I'm not sure what type of data. But if you need to file a corporate income tax, as I said, I've tried it in the past, but I don't think maybe they expect you to generate some data from another system, but I've tried that in the past, it does not work. So for most of the time, you need a tax accountant to help you file corporate income tax. Yeah, so I'm dropping the Google Sheet form. So this is how it's going to look at. So I need you guys, if you want a copy of the presentation or the exam template, provide your email address and other information using this Google Sheet or Google form, I mean, then I'll send it to those guys that complete the Google form. Any other question? Yes. Let me check the charts. I believe you guys can see the Google link, the Google form, I mean, the link to it. Hello?
Or you can type it. Are you able to put it in the?
Yes, I've done that already.
Can't see it on the chat. Is it on the chat? Is posted?
Yeah, he has put
Yeah,
it in the chat.
message.
The link
Can
is
you?
accurate. It's a link that says accurate consult webinar.
Okay,
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay, okay.
Yeah, I'm sending
When
it
you
again.
click on that link, it will take you to the Google.
Yes, someone is saying, will this be on YouTube? Yes. So most of my past maybe sessions, I put them on YouTube so that people can easy for people to watch their own convenience. So I'm going to put it on YouTube instead of maybe trying to store it or save it on the cloud, and the data will be large to share. Yeah.
So we have to fill this link to get these items, right?
To get their template and a copy of the presentation, yes.
Oh.
But I will share video with a link on YouTube with everyone, or anyone that want me to share this with them, we need to fill, because I will need your email address and
Exactly, because this particular link here is some of the questions that are like mandatory, like business name and code. If you don't have those business names, you might not be able to fill this.
Yeah, so the expectation is that you should have a business. Or do you have a business, or you're planning to intend to have one?
Planning, exactly. That's why I
So you can put your proposed business name there. That should not be a barrier. Do you understand?
Okay. Okay, no problem.
Yeah, when will this video get to YouTube? I'll try maybe today or tomorrow to get it to YouTube. And when it's done, I will share with you guys. Any other question?
I have a question on the chat, sir.
Okay. When will this video get to YouTube? Okay. if I have an incorporated business and I've not filed tax in 2 years, no income had been made, can I close this account with no penalty, or I just need to file or backlog? Yes, so the best practice is to file outstanding tax and close it. Now, because even with CRA, you need to file what we call a final return. Because if you have a business open for 10 years, CRA can come back in 15 years or 10 years or 2 years and say, oh, you're owing tax for all these years, or you need to file it. So it's better, even there's no income, file it. You can negotiate with your accountant because there's no income. The amount is going to charge you will be very small. Just file. You need to file within every 12 months since you open the business. So if it's 2 years, you need to file for 2 years. And if you have done that, then close it with Corporation Canada. The solution is free with the solution. Then file a final return with CRA. Then you're done.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I'll contact you about that.
Yeah. But the question I have is that, do you still want to keep the business, or you don't need the business anymore?
The challenge is the business is not being used, and I'm not sure it's going to be used. It was just opened as an incorporation, hoping to be used, but it hasn't been used. So I'm thinking I'll go with your second option where you say file the taxes, and then you can now decide if you want to do a final return. And at least I'm obeying the law by filing those zero income. Then I can now decide after that, okay, let me just do a dissolution rather than not obeying, because as you said, it will come at any time to just slam a tax amount on you. So it's better to obey. Even if there's nothing, you can then decide to just close it.
Yes, you're right. Okay, any other question? Okay, let me go through the charts. I need to go up. Yeah, so I think that's all. So in the absence of any other question, yeah, I'll get back to you guys on the YouTube link. Then for those that fill the form, how do I close the corporate name that I never used? So how do I close the corporate name that I never use? You need to file outstanding tax. Then you need to, in the presentation, maybe I left out that part of the presentation, but part of the presentation, there's a slide on treatment of such. Did I? Oh, I think there's a slide on that. I call treatment of. No, I think. Yeah, maybe I missed all that. So there's a link that should be there on the slide on how to. There's a link on how to dissolve a company in terms of the form you need to fill online and get it dissolved. You can reach out to me on that. I thought I included that. Okay. So in the absence of any other, okay, thank you very much. Thank you. So in the absence of any other question, I think we can call it a day. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Then I'll connect with you guys later.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Shay.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you guys for joining.
Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye-bye.